Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you all are doing well. This is Mohammad Badrudduja, and today we are going to solve lab number 6 from prototype pollution vulnerability module. And in today's lab, we are gonna escalate our privileges via server-side prototype pollution. Okay, the description of this lab is saying this lab is built on Node.js and the Express framework. It is vulnerable to server-side prototype pollution because it unsafely merged user controllable input into a server-side JavaScript object. This is simple to detect because any polluted properties inherited via the prototype chain are visible in an HTTP response. So the same thing, to solve the lab, we need to find out the prototype pollution source. Then you can use that source to add the arbitrary properties to the global object.prototype. Then the second step is to find out the gadget, so that you can use it to escalate your privileges, and then we need to access the admin panel and delete the Carlos account or perform an administrative action so that the lab will be solved. And we have one credential for testing. This is gonna be our credential winner and the password is Peter. So without wasting time, I'm just gonna access the lab. One thing to be noticed, in all the previous 5 labs, we saw prototype pollution via client side, okay? But this time we are gonna see server side prototype pollution. Fine. So in client side prototype pollution, basically the JavaScript or the source and the sink or gadget is being loaded on the client side. So we saw some scripts like log store or logger.js, and then we see that script to find out the gadget and the source, okay, and we exploit that. But here in the server side prototype pollution, vulnerable scripts are not being loaded on the client side. Fine. So it is although it works on the server side, and I'm just going to log into this application by saying Wiener is the username and Peter is the password. So before actually login to the application, I just want to see, yeah, okay, all the traffic passing through the burp suite. So just log in, don't save, and this is the login request. So now here you can see once we logged in, this is the page we got for my account, and in this page we can just update our billing or delivery address. So let's see, I'm just going to change a bit from UK. I'm gonna say the country is US, and I'm just going to submit the request. So once I submit, you can see this is the post request where I submit my address, and you can see all these are the fields which we type here. So this is username, the first name, last name. So the first name, last name is not being shown here. But other things like address line 1, 2, city, postcode, and the country is being used. And also there is one parameter which is session ID. So session ID, I think the hidden field in the form in HTML. Okay, so no problem in that, but the response is interesting for me because you can see within the response it actually reflected me all of these information whatever I change. Okay, and this is gonna be now our current address. But one thing is interesting for me is this parameter which is admin is equal to false. I'm going to send this request to the repeater and go to the repeater. I just want to make sure it's working perfectly fine. So again, I'm gonna change it to, let's say, FR for France, and just send the request. So you can see it's working perfectly fine. Now is admin is equal to false, and that's why you can see within these options I do not find admin panel, or I cannot access let's say /admin. I cannot access /admin because this is only for the administrator. So if I logged in as administrator, only then I can access this endpoint. Okay, so I'm gonna inject here by saying let's say, okay, here I'm gonna say __ proto underscore underscore, and within this basically I'm going to put here now property. Okay, so the property I'm going to set anything, let's say color, and within the color I'm going to define the name of the color, which is going to be red or blue or whatever you want. So this is the point where I am trying to find out the source. Okay, so let's see, if I send this request, you can see there is some unexpected thing. Okay, why it's giving me the error? Because I did a mistake here. I did not specify the comma. Okay, so let's send one more time, and yeah, this time it's working fine, and you can see whatever property you injected here in the request, it's now rendered here in the response. So that means this is the correct source, and we found the source for prototype for injecting the prototype pollution. Okay, now the second thing is you need to find out the gadget. So in this response, what do you think is the most interesting thing? If you see this response, you want to try. Okay, so for me everything is okay, everything is fine, but I just want to check out few things, like I want to delete the session ID, and I want to see whether the application is validating the or checking the session ID or not, even the session ID parameter is there or not, application responding, how application is responding. Also I will try few more thing, like the most interesting part is admin. So I will try to inject is admin as a property here within the prototype, and the value of is admin I will manipulate from false to true. Now we need to inject this property is admin here on the place of color. So I just paste that, and because false is actually kind of Boolean, so for true or false condition it's not gonna be the string, so I'm just going to say it true. Okay, without enclosing it into the single quotes or double quotes. And if it works, that means this is the point where we find the gadget. So let's see, I'm just going to send the request, fingers crossed, and you can see now the permission we have is for admin. So if we just go to my account or just refresh the page to see whether we have admin panel or not, and you can see there is admin panel, we can access it and we can delete the Carlos user, and we performed an administrative functionality, not only accessing the administrative feature, but also we perform an administrative function. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you like the content, please like, subscribe and share. I'm going to see you in the next video, and the next videos are going to be more interesting. So I leave you here. See you in the next video. Bye.